Guess who's back? Back again. Inferno's back. Tell a friend. Yeah, I bet y'all never thought y'all see me again on the webcam, huh? Yeah, YouTube, we are back with another webcam video here in 2026. Last time I did one of these was like 2013, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, yeah, we are back. So, as you can guess from the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Sony. But before that, y'all might see like my room is pretty much a mess. I apologize for that. I've work has me busy and all that, so I can't really clean up as much as I want to. But we're gonna take care of that eventually, okay? But yeah, I want to go ahead and start off with the topic of this video, Sony. So for those of y'all who don't know, or for those of y'all who haven't heard the news or somehow just been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, Sony is announcing that they are ending production of physical discs in 2026. And all I have to say is, Sony, what the hell? Why would you do this? Why? Why would you do this? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, well, I do, but it's just this is such a bad move by Sony. It really is, because you have a bunch of people still who buy physical discs, and you're basically just telling them, oh well, you can't buy physical discs anymore because we're gonna switch to all digital now. It's like, what the heck? Okay, and don't worry, I will go over everything that is wrong with this change, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinion. Don't worry. So, first off, by getting rid of physical discs, they're basically what they're trying to do is that they're basically just trying to control the type of media we're getting. So they want us to buy only digital, so that way we technically don't own the game. Well, no, we really don't own the game. They can pull it whenever they want. And don't worry, again, I will get into that. So so real quick, actually, I'm gonna take a look at this article here. I got it on my phone. So it says physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. So that means after January 2028, we will not be getting any more physical discs, any more new physical discs made by Sony. And what's probably going to happen is, because Sony's doing this, other companies are probably going to follow suit too, like Xbox, let's say, yeah, Microsoft, Nintendo, all those companies are going to follow suit, and we're basically going to be living in an all digital world for gaming. Like, physical discs will eventually no longer be a thing. And I have a huge problem with this. In fact, a lot of gamers have a huge problem with this. Because if you've been paying attention over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, since Sony announced this news, there has been so much backlash. And I'm not talking about like backlash where it's just like, oh, well, if it'll go away within a week. No, this has been going on for like a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks. And I don't see it going away at all unless Sony just decides to reverse this decision. Be like, oh, sorry, yeah, we were joking. No, we're actually not getting rid of physical discs. Don't worry. Like, I don't see the backlash to this going away. And what's worse is the PS6 and the next generation consoles are going to be all digital. Like, we know the PlayStation 6 is going to be all digital. There's not going to be a disc drive. So, and I'm pretty sure that unless Microsoft rather, decides to not go with the trend and pretty much say, "Hey, we're not gonna do what Sony's doing. We'll instead keep physical discs for our console." I don't see this getting any better. I don't. And again, I will explain why this is such a change. So let's go into that. So first off, obviously we're not going to get we're not going to get physical discs anymore. So yeah, and like I said, a lot of people are pissed off about that because for one, when you buy digital, you get a license for the game. You don't really own the game. Like if you go over all the terms and conditions, which I'm pretty sure most people never do. I'll admit I don't either for real. I just want to get to my game, you know. But if you do read all over the terms and conditions, it will say that by purchasing this game, you give Sony the rights to the game, and if they decide to pull it off, you give them the authorization to do that. So that means if they ever feel like pulling off the game at any point, you cannot play that game anymore. Like, yeah, if you spent like 60, 70, $80 on a game and Sony decides to pull it, you will not be able to play that game ever again. Like, that will be money down the drain. And that is a huge, huge problem going forward. Because how can we, the consumers, the gamers, trust these companies to not pull the plug on the games that we buy digitally? Because at least with physical discs, we can still play the game whenever we want, even if there's like no, unless it's like a purely online game, like I say like The Crew or something like that. If we buy physical discs, even without an online connection, unless the game requires it, we can pretty much play the games whenever we want without an online connection. And that's another problem too. There are still some people, even in today's world, that don't have online connections. So those people are probably mostly relying on physical games so they can play. Now, what happens when we move to all digital, where you need an online connection to where you have to play games? Guess what? Those people, they aren't going to be able to play any of the newer games because they're going to be all digital. They're not going to be able to. It's literally going to force them to be able to get online services before they can even do that. Like that's an internet bill you got to pay for, and possibly a PlayStation subscription. Possibly. I hope not, but that seems like the route we're going towards nowadays. And that is a huge, huge problem because these companies, they want to, well, yeah, Sony in particular, like, yeah, it's not just Sony really. It's a lot of companies out there. Like, they want us, the consumer, the gamers, to pay more to get games. And in the end, we don't even own them. So it's basically, yeah, you'll buy your games, you'll be happy, and you'll like it. But you won't own them. You will not own your games. And again, like I said, that's a very serious issue. Because at least with physical, we could purely own our own games. And it just really saddens me that this is what gaming is coming to nowadays. Because I've been collecting discs for years. For years since I was a kid. Like, here, I want to show you guys something. Here, give me a second. Like, I have been collecting physical discs for years since I was a kid. Since I was about like 5, 6 maybe. But yeah, you can see like I have also like some of these discs I've had since I was a kid. Okay? So when sorry. when physical goes away, we don't get any of these anymore. We don't. That's it. And I don't like it. And there's a lot of other people like me who don't like this either. So, and like I said, there has been a lot of backlash online. Like, the backlash got so bad for Sony. I think, what was it? They tweeted, like, because they have an X account. The backlash got so bad, they didn't tweet on their X account for a week. Okay? They didn't tweet for a week. Now, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. Like, it's crazy that Sony thinks this is a good move. It's crazy. Like, there's just so much wrong with this. It's so much wrong. Yeah, and like I said, one of the other things is now that Sony has officially pulled the trigger on this, a lot of other companies are going to be following suit too. Like Nintendo has already been doing this with the Switch 2. Like with the physical cartridges, right? Like you get you get a physical cartridge, but you still don't own the game, which is crazy. Like it's absolutely insane. Like you get a cartridge with a code, and it's you're basically download the game. I'm pretty sure that is. If I'm wrong, somebody please correct me in the comments. I don't I don't really know that much about Switch 2 for real. Like I haven't gotten one since last year. I still own my original Switch. I don't really plan on getting the Switch 2 unless they reverse that policy. I don't want to support any like digital stuff. And that's another thing too. We're seeing more and more games just become purely digital nowadays. Like take for example GTA 6, which is coming out November 19th. That is purely digital. Now, Rockstar did say that they were going to be coming out with a physical disc probably months after the game's release. But you still have people buying the digital anyways. Now, uh, now, I bet you originally Rockstar wasn't even gonna make a physical disc, cause like, cause something you have to understand. This transition didn't just happen overnight. This has been happening for years. I don't know when exactly it was, but this has been happening for quite a while. Like, this isn't anything new. There have been several games that have been released or re-released just purely digital. Like take for example, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. That didn't come out with a physical disc. It came out only digital. And there's a few others. Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered Complete Edition. That's coming out October 1st. That's only going to be digital, not physical. So it just proves that there's just this has been going on for quite a while. This hasn't just been rolled out overnight. And what's crazy is actually hold on, sorry, give me a second. I wanna pull up this article here. Let me see here. Give me a sec. Sorry, I can't find the oh here okay, here it goes. Now, and the funny thing is, Sony, yeah, this news about Sony actually made it to CNN. CNN, a news channel. Yeah. So, if that doesn't tell you how badly Sony done fucked up, I don't know what does. Like this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, man. Like, and like I've been I've been pretty much a Sony fan since I was a kid, like all the way up to now. Okay, but this is just going. This is no. I can't justify this. I really can't. And hopefully, a lot of other people can see that too, because like this means we're not, like I said, this means we're not going to be owning our own games anymore, and Sony can has the right to take them away from us at any point in time. And I don't, that's not okay with me. It's not. Like some other people probably who probably don't know any better, or younger generation gamers are probably saying, what's the problem? Like like what's the problem with it? Like it's more convenience. I mean, yeah, sure, it's more convenience, but like don't you understand that you're not really owning the game. So, like I said, if Sony's just like if Sony decides to take the game away from you, that's it. You don't own it anymore. And stuff happens. Stuff happens like life happens. Like maybe you lose your console, or maybe you don't have enough money to get another console, or I don't know. But and that's another segue I'm gonna actually segment into in a second here. But yeah, life happens, and then like maybe you end up coming back after like a year or two, like when you get the funds to get another console, and then like for whatever reason or another, Sony takes away your game, like or Sony's taken away your game, and you can't play it anymore, and you were maybe in the middle of it, you were about to finish it or whatever, and then poof, it's gone. It's just not, that's not cool. It's not cool. And a lot more people need to be standing out against this, especially since uh okay, hold on, wait, let me see. Oh, right. And apparently, I don't know how true this is yet, but I did see an article about it. Sony apparently put out an article which says if you're offline for a certain amount of time, you can lose your digital games. I think it's like 3 years or something like that, 36 months. But yeah, if you don't log into your account for for 3 years, you can lose all access to your digital games. Like, how is that okay? Like, how? Basically, they're forcing you to having to to be online all the time just so you can preserve your physical games. They want us to be all online so they can control how we have access to our games. And I think it's bullshit. I do. Yeah, man, it's really crazy. And like I said, I'm not going to be supporting this at all. When January 2028 hits, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with Sony pretty much. Like I'll still play the games I have. I'll still play the physical games I have, and maybe the other digital games. But I will not be buying a new game from Sony. I will not be buying a new game on a Sony console. I'm not gonna get the PS6. I'm not gonna get the new Xbox if it's digital only. I'm not gonna get the Switch. This is pretty much digital only. Like this whole thing with you buying your games, but you're not owning it, and it can be taken away from you at any time. I don't support it. And neither should you if you care about physical gaming. But I think that's all I had for this video, man. Yeah, this is it's just sad. It's just really sad news. Cuz like I said, I've been a Sony fan for about about, let me see, about 26 years, I believe, maybe 27, something like that. So, yeah, that should tell you how old I am. But, but yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be supporting this. And honestly, if you care about the future of physical gaming, neither should you. And also, one thing I did remember is a lot of retailers are speaking out against this, and with good reason, because they sell physical media. So that's about maybe a third or a fourth of their business gone just like that. Because they're not going to be getting any more physical games in stock. It's going to be mainly all digital. So, yeah, like companies like GameStop and all of them are speaking out against this too, which they should. And I'm glad they are. Because we as a gaming community, the ones that care anyway, need to speak out against this. We do. Like, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know, and I don't expect Sony to change their minds about this. And if they don't, I don't really see Sony I don't really see Sony lasting for too much longer with physical media, at least for physical games. Like they have other outlets like their movies and stuff like that. Which by the way, which by the way, what was it? They actually they actually deleted a bunch of like movies, digital movies off of their online store because they lost the license for them. So if that doesn't tell you that your games aren't safe online with Sony, I don't I don't know what does. Like, yeah, buying anything digital nowadays is a risk because it can be taken from you at any time for any reason. So, yeah, that's all I had. I think, yeah, that's all I had, man. So, I don't really see myself playing any more Sony games for the near future, unless it's like retro, unless it's games that I've been wanting to do that I have. Like if it's even if it's like digital stuff that I've bought, as long as Sony doesn't take it away before I actually get to it. Which, by the way, I'll go more into depth in that. I got another video coming up, sometime after this one. Hopefully, shortly after this, going to an update about my plans for my YouTube channel and all that. So hopefully, I'll get into that. But yeah, I think that's all I had. Yeah, this is sad news indeed, and yeah, come January 2028, I will no longer be a Sony customer. So yeah, well, that's it. That's all I got. So yeah, next video will be coming up soon. Until then, I will see you guys later. Take care. Now have a good rest of your day.